Hi, the Brisbane Broncos play the Dolphins at Suncorp at 5:30 on Saturday night, this being the second matchup of the season and the Broncos' home game this time. And I ask you, what are you doing to help your team win the battle for Brisbane? What can you do to help the Broncos? Are you dead-naming the opposition club by calling them Redcliffe? Are you disregarding the thoughts and feelings of any Dolphins fan, if there are any? Have you got sandbags? Just in case, you never know. Personally, I'm taking the Katoni Stags approach. There's no battle for Brisbane because they're not from here. To quote Katoni, they are a team from Redcliffe and they just come over and play on the same field. And if you want to say that actually Redcliffe is part of Brisbane, well, the battle's already won because, to quote Katoni again, it's our home and always will be because he scored that try once. And I also don't think there should be any kind of rivalry with a team that is little more than an expansionist confection who had to create a fictional number one fan which they named after the coach who abandoned them at the first opportunity. And what have I in common with a Redcliffe local who took Monday off instead of Wednesday for the Ekka? How disgraceful. Who doesn't even have the same bin design as me, who prefers red over maroon. And they've also beaten the Broncos only once in their entire history, and that was basically this time last year when the Broncos had decided that they were done with the season already anyway and wanted to hurry up and get a new coach. To quote from an athlete from a different sport, Joel Embiid, it's not a rivalry if they always kick our ass. That's of course from the Dolphins' perspective. Now, I say all that to say this, the Broncos have to win this game. It's not season ending if they lose, but it's season made way more difficult. Trouble is, the Dolphins are in the exact same position. So much has happened since these teams last met that I don't think there's much benefit going back to their first matchup to see anything more than a healthy Adam Reynolds. It was also a game before Reece Walsh hit the incredible form he's been in since returning from his PCL, but Stags ran over Herbie Farnworth to score a try, so there's that. This coming matchup is a classic late season 4-point game with both teams in similar positions on the ladder, with a win solidifying their position further and both coming off bad losses. The Broncos going down by 20 and losing 3 players, and the Dolphins having 60 put on them and losing another guy. This time Molo to suspension to add to the pile of missing Dolphins with Herbie, Bostock, Kafusi, Flegler, Saifidi, Plath and Gilbert. And they've still got guys, and more importantly, they've still got their best guy, and he's looking to take his team to the postseason for the first time in their history, and has Cody Nikorima back alongside him, which has proven to be their best pairing this season. And Katoa is going to be running straight at Billy Walters, and if he's not, Jeremy Marshall-King is running troops down that edge and then going himself, and now here's Hammer at a full sprint. When the Dolphins get off and running, they kind of flood the zone. On a break, there's always like 9 players in support, and you can't tackle them all. They lose a lot of their attacking punch with Herbie Farnworth not being out there. The man was an immediate line break whenever he touched the ball this season, and that's a tough thing to replace, something the Broncos know well, but also see Katoni Stags. Now, some quick notes. I forgot that Billy played 6 in 2022, and Carrigan has captained a whole bunch of games in Reynolds' absence. I said on Tuesday it was the first time for both. I was wrong, but also, those mistakes are of no consequence, and I refuse to apologize for them. Also, I'm never wrong. Sorry, I know that's my worst side, but I am kind of nervous about this game. Not because the halves pairing can't do it. I think that there's plenty of reasons to be confident about this roster. A lot of the guys are in good form and still played good games last week in some difficult circumstances, and it's a matter of Hunt becoming the dominant playmaker, playing the footy that he's played basically his entire career and taking over a team that was once his. Then Billy just plays a more simple run-first kind of game. He keeps up that high-paced stuff he was doing off the bench. Carrigan takes more of an emphasis as a playmaker at the line, and Walsh gets the ball whenever he wants it and makes 10 great passes that all turns into tries. And all the different splashes of colour throughout the Broncos' attack across the field combine to create a beautiful 30-point game. Or they all smush together and make brown. Sometimes clarity isn't the best for this team. Sometimes they need a little bit of chaos. And I guess now there's clarity in that Ben Hunt, you are absolutely the first option half and everything is up to you. And Billy becomes like the 4th option playmaker behind Benny, Walsh and Carrigan in that order. But we've also seen if they can just play 15 minutes of regular football, that's all they need to start running rampant and score 3 quick tries. Does Ben Hunt care for structure? Not always. Does Billy? Not so much. Both guys barely even need a half chance. They'll seize any opportunity to press an advantage, even non-existent opportunities. How about going for it in third tackle inside their own half? Because what if it works? And what if it works is a weapon that both these guys absolutely have in their arsenal, and attacking inside their own half is something the Broncos have done really well recently. And also, what if it works is basically the theme of the rest of the season. Because I don't think it's still delusion that has me thinking this team can go deep into the finals, maybe even win it all. They still have pain ass after all. But this is the first test. The Dolphins are a good team. They've got talent all over the park. I probably overrate some of it, like I'm a big Fine Fuiaki guy and an even bigger Kurt Donahue guy. This guy's amazing, just an absolute dog. They should call him Dogahue. He's that perfect combination of size, physicality, and playmaking. He gives Katoa so much more time when he engages the defense, and that's awful. The Broncos are still much stronger across the back 5, but I don't know if I trust them not to be fooled by Jake Averillo. Do not trust this man when he looks like he's tackled. He's not. When he looks like he's passing, he's not, unless he is. Again, I'm nervous because this is a consequential game. Whichever team wins most likely plays finals, and the loser suddenly becomes beholden to the results of Roosters games. And I think the Broncos can 100% win this game, but a game like this is most often won by ticker, which is something the Broncos often lack. By bench players coming on and scoring unlikely tries. Tyson Smoothie, I'm looking at you. Or by superstars out-executing each other. Dolphins have 2 superstars, Hammer and Katoa. Katoa maybe just losing out on the Dally M to Tedesco last week. And the Broncos have 3 superstars in Walsh, Haas and Carrigan. I wouldn't quite put Katoni there just yet. So if the game's tied up with 10 minutes to go, who's going to convert on their chances? Or, this is entirely foreseeable as well, it's a blowout in either team's favour. In the meantime, ask yourself, what can you do to help your team win the battle for Brisbane? I'm doing my part. I'm going to the Dolphins captain's run this morning and letting out all the air of the tyres of the players' cars. Make sure to use your innovation.